Hi guys, how you doing? This is SP Games. Welcome back to Portal with developer commentary on. This is part 2. Here we go, let's continue. This is where we left off from part 1. This is where the game starts to get a bit more tricky now. There's a lot more different puzzles to do. They introduced new ways to make the puzzle harder. Harder. This is one of the examples now. They had a ball that can actually kill you.
While safety is one of many Enrichment Center goals, the Aperture Science High Energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can't. Unbelievable. You.
Subject name here.
Must be the pride of.
Subject hometown here.
To make puzzles deeper than just teleporting to the exit, we had to include surfaces that won't hold a portal, which are formally introduced here. We experimented with several surface designs before we settled on this one, whose visual noise and reflectivity make it easy to identify at a distance.
And there we go. Okay, I wasn't quite on there. Okay, now the left doesn't know what it wants to do, but let's continue on here. Right. Yeah, like I said guys, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this different way of playing Portal and experiencing Portal, because obviously the original way would be out without the developer commentary on. You would just they wouldn't be there and you just play
Warning
without it.
devices are required on all mobile equipment. However, alarms and flashing hazard lights have been found to agitate. Good. Now use the Aperture Science unstationary scaffold to reach the chamber lock.
Well, let's jump down and get this one here.
Originally, these scaffolds ran on electrified tracks, but crafty playtesters would hop along the rails to the exit, bypassing the puzzle entirely. We tried to solve this by killing players as soon as they touched the rails. That solution ended up being too much of an overcorrection, as even skilled playtesters were getting frustrated by these one-hit kills in the more complex puzzles later in the game. Making the scaffolds run along immaterial beams of light solved both problems.
Right, let's continue on there. I did wonder, because obviously there is other games where they have energy beams and you can just walk along them. It was a bit pointless going on the platform, but that is I thought was a very good way of getting rid of that, in the fact that you would die. So there we go. But like I said, after a puzzle you will be introduced to a lift. Oh, okay, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky.
Please note that we have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
There we go. That should be that puzzle done. There we go.
Even though layering player training was a design goal from the start, we still ended up introducing some concepts too quickly. For instance, this used to be the first energy ball redirection puzzle. Playtesting revealed that this puzzle introduced too many new concepts at once, which ended up frustrating a lot of playtesters. In response, we inserted 2 test chambers before this one to make the energy ball redirection training more gradual.
Yeah, I was going to light that one up so you could hear it, but in a minute I swear GLaDOS will speak, so it'll be easier.
Very interesting.
There we go.
Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience.
Okay, now I can go back and you can hear it clearly than what you would be interrupted.
We previously talked about how we handle static portal collision, but collision with moving objects on the other side of a portal is a completely different and equally hard problem. Walking onto this scaffold was a very iffy proposition for the first few months of development. We solved the problem of colliding with these dynamic objects by cloning the objects from one portal to the other and strictly controlling what objects are allowed to collide with each other and how they're allowed to collide.
There we go guys, that was a little. Let's continue on to the next room. Right, this room here.
The Enrichment Center regrets to inform you that this next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it.
This one here, this one can be a bit irritating in the fact that you can't sometimes hear the commentary because she goes on in this place for some reason. She likes to say that you can complete this
For the
one.
first few months of development, we rendered the views through portals to 2 off-screen textures. This approach was easy to implement and was compatible with a wide range of
Enrichment
graphics.
Center
As you're seeing now, she goes on about this one, it's hard to hear.
Text releasing consumed a large amount of video memory in order to handle recursive views through several portals. Because of these disadvantages, we switched to a system which renders portal views recursively into the frame buffer with the aid of the stencil buffer to isolate pixels corresponding to a given portal. This is a more
Once
effective scheme
again,
because
the
it's
Enrichment
compatible with
Center offers
anti-aliasing
its
and
most
does not consume
sincere
any additional
apologies
video
on the
memory for
occasion of
textures.
this unsolvable test. Fantastic. You remain resolute and resourceful in an atmosphere of extreme pessimism.
So now I will do it again to see if she
For the first
go
few
on.
months of development,
There we go,
rendered
guys.
the views through portals to 2 off-screen textures. This approach was easy to implement and was compatible with a wide range of graphics hardware. Unfortunately, this method was incompatible with anti-aliasing and consumed a large amount of video memory in order to handle recursive views through several portals. Because of these disadvantages, we switched to a system which renders portal views recursively into the frame buffer with the aid of the stencil buffer to isolate pixels corresponding to a given portal. This is a more effective scheme because it is compatible with anti-aliasing and does not consume any additional video memory for off-screen textures.
Now we'll go to the second one, guys.
Because our test chamber environments were
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Because our
Almost
test
pressed
chamber
button.
environments were simplified for training purposes, we created visual hotspots within the rooms to guide players' attention. The design is essentially a balance between round objects and sharp objects. The sharp objects representing background elements, and the round objects, such as doors and movable props, comprising our points of visual interest.
Okay guys, so with that one guys, I must have pressed E again to stop the introduction on that one. But let's continue on through the game again. One thing I was surprised with the elevators on this game, I'm surprised there was no like cheesy music, how there is on most games or most elevators or lifts that you go in. There is kind of like a bit of a cheesy music. But Portal decided to keep that out. They decided to just keep radio scattered all over the place and thinking they're watching you. Because when I was playing this game, I felt like they were watching me. But here we go again. This one here.
Hello again. To reiterate,
Previous morning.
portal momentum.
Portal momentum ended up being the hardest concept to convey. For this series of puzzles, which went through more design iterations than virtually any other part of the game, we introduced the idea of redirecting your momentum using portals, slowly, step by step. We even have the AI voice pretty explicitly explain the elements of the puzzle, something we avoided throughout most of the rest of the game.
There we go, now we're here. Now we've got this one here. Let's move into this one here.
Using gravity to fall into one portal so that you come rocketing out the other portal, a skill we call flinging, was another difficult concept to train. We designed a specific visual cue, a pushed-out concrete block with checkerboard tile above a pit, to indicate to players that it's time to use the fling maneuver. Repeated several times, this cue helps players associate pushed-out concrete slabs with flinging, in much the same way that players learn to associate cubes with buttons.
There you go, right, let's continue on then. And there we go.
Spectacular. You appear to understand how a portal affects forward momentum, or to be more precise, how it does not.
So here guys, I'm just going to generally fall off this one if I've put it in the right position. So I can just grab that one there. Where's it gone? Okay, what the hell? Okay, I've actually done the puzzle, that wasn't my plans. I see where I've gone wrong, I've just shot it one more up.
Momentum, a function of mass and velocity, is conserved between portals. In layman's terms, speedy thing goes in,
Okay, I keep on
speedy
doing
thing
puzzle.
goes out.
It's not my intention to do the puzzle, just...
Originally,
There we go.
these exit portal surfaces were static geometry in the final position, but playtesters stubbornly refused to look up to find them. This is another example of the classic game design problem of coaxing players to look up. By putting the portals on moving pistons, we were able to start them in a position that players were more likely to see.
And there's that one done, guys. Okay, so that one, guys, took me a little while. I aimed to the high one to actually complete the puzzle, not the one to get the commentary on. But we have it in the end, so there we go. Let's continue on. Here we are, this is where we get the next part of the gun.
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice. For instance, the floor here will kill you. Try to avoid it.
Right, so listen to this one here.
Rather than looking into portals to see where it went, playtesters would often leap blindly to their doom. In response to this observation, the moral of this puzzle is, look before you leap. The portal is out of the player's view from this balcony. That forces them to peer through a portal to see it, which trains players in their remote viewing capabilities of portals.
Originally, a weighted button was used to open the far door, but playtesters so strongly associated boxes with buttons that they'd get stuck searching hopelessly for a box. We changed the big button to a pedestal-mounted push button, thus removing the box association, but playtesters still had trouble realizing they needed to shoot a portal through the door. Adding a ticking timer sound when the door was open cued players that the puzzle expected them to act during that time, which solved the problem.
There we go, guys. I'm being an idiot. I just need to go back out here and shoot one there. Okay, I nearly got shot then. Because it will kill you if it shoots you, I believe. There we go.
Has been
Now the second part of the
so
gun.
that it can now manufacture 2 linked portals at once. As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact. The device is now more valuable than the organs and combined incomes of everyone in
Subject hometown, here.
And here we
This
go.
room is designed to build anticipation for the big moment when players finally get the fully powered portal gun. The puzzle path brings you in a circle around the device, so that it's virtually always in sight, right up until you grab it.
And there we go, guys. This is when the game really gets interesting now, because you can actually control both sides of the portal, the red and orange one. Sorry, blue one. What am I talking about? The blue and orange one. So here we go. This is where it gets really interesting now, in the fact that, you know, because you control them too, you can kind of put them all over the place, but that's where it gets hard as well, because obviously now you control them, the game will not set them up for you. So let's continue. So we're on 12 of 19, and here we go.
Training doesn't always stick.
Get repeated
I knew she was
fling
going to do that.
yourself. Rippling into space.
Player training
So with
doesn't
that?
always stick, especially after the introduction of a big new concept. For instance, after they had acquired the fully powered portal device, playtesters often forgot about the fling maneuver. Since it's such an important skill, this puzzle is designed to reintroduce the idea of flinging.
And off we go. That will jump you onto that one, and then you just do the same again. I often mess up with these. There we go. Now you have to go up again. Okay, I pressed that bit too early. There. Okay, is it done now? No. There we go. And now let's jump back down. I always shoot another one, and there we go. We got the cube. Now you take your best friend, the companion cube. Even though this isn't a companion, well, it is, but it isn't the one with the special love heart on it. That she gets later on in the game. Sorry for that little spoiler if it's the first time you've seen this game, but it's my favourite part of the game. There we go, guys. There you go. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of Portal with the Donut commentary on. Please like, please comment, and please subscribe. Thanks ever so much.